Imagine a job where you work wherever you want, whenever you want, on whatever you want, and you get paid whatever amount you want to get paid. Well, that's actually a real career, and it's called freelance programming. Freelance programming is something I used to do so often that I started a company with a friend of mine. And since I have so much experience with it, I thought I'd make a video talking about it and how you guys can become freelance programmers yourselves. So first off, what is freelance programming? Well, unlike a traditional career as a software engineer at a company, for example, you won't be working directly under someone. Instead, you'll be your own boss and you'll be working directly with companies, which would be your clients. Whereas a software engineer at a company, you'll be told exactly what to do by somebody, whether it's through task boards or meetings or direct instructions. As a freelance programmer, you make the rules. You'll be able to decide who you work with and what you work on. Now, of course, there's a lot of positives when it comes to the career path of a freelance programmer. However, there are also many negatives. One being that the percentage of coding you'll be doing as a freelance programmer is far less than that of a traditional software engineer. And this is because half the time you'll have to be dealing with a lot of business and marketing related tasks. You'll have to do your own marketing to find clients. You'll have to communicate with these clients, construct your own contracts with them, negotiate the pricing, and find your own solutions to their problem. So if you're not very business oriented, the career path of a freelance programmer might not be for you. You might be working on multiple different projects or with multiple different companies simultaneously. And there's often a lot more miscommunication happening when you're a freelance programmer dealing with so many different kinds of people than there is as a traditional software engineer. Overall, if you are good at marketing and business and communication as well as programming, you can become very successful. Some people actually become so successful as freelance programmers that they start things like consulting companies. So, if you're interested in becoming a freelance programmer, how do you do it? Well, luckily for you, it's actually pretty easy to get started. There are websites and platforms you can go to where hundreds of project listings are posted a day. All of these people need help, and they're usually looking for freelance programmers to come in and quickly help them. These can often be small tasks where a company is just looking for someone with a particular skill set to come in and quickly solve a problem. Or they could be larger scale projects where someone's looking for a cheaper programmer. Either way, it's pretty easy to get started because you would just make a profile on these platforms and start to apply. The best platforms for becoming a freelance programmer, in my opinion, are Upwork, Fiverr, and People Per Hour. Each of the platforms operate differently, but they're all very legitimate compared to other platforms I've used in the past where there's a lot of scammers and spamming. So you make a profile on these platforms with your information, but how do you get clients when you're competing with so many other people doing the exact same thing? And this is really where you need to differentiate yourself by standing out from the others. To do this, in my opinion, I found the most successful way to stand out is to highlight how essential communication is in the process of working together on a project. Let's face it, there's going to be a lot of people applying, trying to make a quick buck. A lot of them might not be interested in an open line of communication, and they might not care about doing the most satisfactory level of work. You should offer basically a 24/7 line of communication. I would offer my phone number and my email, say call me whenever you want, and that way, they'll feel comfortable that if they need changes or if there's any kind of gap in communication, they can just call you whenever and ask you to fix something or sort something out so that the process is much smoother and everyone's on the same page the whole time. I include this in a thoughtful message to the client when I'm applying to these projects on these platforms. And then the very last paragraph, I just ask, hey, whether you want to go with me or not, can we just do a 10 to 15 minute Zoom call and see if it would be a good fit? And that's where sales side of the business kind of comes into this a little bit. And you just kind of reiterate everything I just said to the client on a call and explain how you're going to be the best candidate compared to others. And maybe you could close and get the project. Now, you might fail at first, but it really becomes a skill over time. And as you become more confident and you do more projects and you actually build your reputation as a freelance programmer, you will be able to close easier. People will respect your skill set more, and you should be able to increase your pricing per hour for how much it's going to cost you to work on these projects, like as you progress as a freelance programmer. And that's why freelance programming is pretty great, is because in that regard, the sky is the limit. You can't kind of just keep increasing your wages as long as somebody is willing to pay them. One of the things that also helps me convince clients to hire me for a particular project is having a good portfolio website that you could send over and show past work. This just lends credibility over time, and you should continuously add completed projects to the portfolio. One thing that's also of interest lately is new and emerging technologies like ChatGPT or no-code, low-code platforms. ChatGPT, for example, could really help you speed up the development process or solve a lot of these freelance programming problems very easily and quickly. And no-code, low-code is great for freelancing. Wix Studio is an end-to-end web creation platform for agencies and professionals. A lot of the freelance projects out there are for websites, and Wix Studio is a great option for this because they make it extremely easy to build and scale websites. Wix Studio makes it easy to develop for things like e-commerce or restaurants or bookings or blogs, CMS or events. So it is perfect for agencies and freelancers like potentially you guys. It really is a new and modern way to get ahead as a freelance programmer. Wix Studio makes it easy to take on complex projects and achieve impressive results. They have enterprise-grade infrastructure, robust native business solutions, efficient workflow tools, and advanced design and development capabilities. So for any potential freelance programmers or current freelance programmers / agencies, I highly recommend checking out Wix Studio since it just came out recently and it's definitely a game changer when it comes to web creation. When it comes to negotiating pricing on a freelance programming project, do keep in mind the cost that a professional software development team would charge to build particular softwares, and then talk about what would be fair pricing for a project. Some projects will be small scale where you work hourly, and some projects might be really large scale where you just charge a giant flat fee. In this case, you're going to want to have a contract with particular milestones where for each milestone completed, you'll get paid out. You never want to do a huge bulk project and then just hope it all works out, and in the end you get one lump sum payment, because sometimes things fall apart. So you're going to want to have those milestones, like as you complete things you get paid in increments. So that's it, guys. I hope you learned a little bit about freelance programming, and if you're interested, definitely check out some of those platforms I listed in the description below. I used to do it all the time, and it really does feel exciting to be a freelance programmer, constantly working on different things that you want to work on and pique your interest, rather than being a software engineer and just getting things handed to you. Whether you're interested or not, you have to work on them. Let me know in the comments your guys' experience with becoming freelance programmers, if you decide to become one or if you are one currently. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. As always, we're trying to grow here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.